The Bills will dominate the fraud, corrupt Chiefs. In order to substantiate my bold claim with facts, I will analyze both teams' performance in their last Week 10 game. Let's start with my beloved Bills. We'll go over the offense, then the defense. No Coleman, no Cooper, no problem. Even on his third worst day, Allen still put up 23. We don't need our two top guys to win, we just need everybody else to play their best. We still have wide receiver number 1, Shakir, wide receiver number 2, Mac Hollins, Cook, Johnson, Davis, Knox, and Morris. Let's talk about the 5 guys who crushed it on offense. First, Hollins. Since Coleman and Cooper have been out, Hollins has stepped up big into the wide receiver 2 spot, and Allen is definitely counting on him for Sunday. It seems every Hollins highlight was a huge first down, and it's great seeing Allen put his trust in Hollins, knowing that he is his go-to guy. Especially right before the half ended, when Allen scrambled and threw a bomb to Hollins for a huge first down to get the Bills in field goal range. If Hollins can play like this against the Chiefs, he's gonna be a major asset to the Bills and will take the pressure off of Allen. 2, Cook. Cook looked great as per usual with averaging 4.2 yards per carry. And Cook was able to find a lot of success up the middle, which is interesting because normally he can only find success to the outside, which will be crucial since the Chiefs D has been struggling to contain the run, as I'll mention later. And Cookie sealing the dub is such a common occurrence this season and is just further proof that the Bills need to keep feeding him the ball in the red zone. 3, Ty Johnson slaying. Ty Johnson continued to showcase his amazing wide receiver talent by catching Allen's low pass and picking up a first down. This is why I stress getting Johnson more involved in the pass game. Bro has amazing hands like Cook, and his completion percentage has been 100% in 3 different games this season. Also, whenever Allen is able to scramble efficiently, Ty Johnson has been there with his outstanding catching abilities and yards after catch. 4, Shakir. Even though he didn't get as much screen time last game, Shakir stole the show whenever he was targeted, especially when he was dodging tackles for that insane yards after catch. Whenever Allen gets the ball out in less than a second, especially to Shakir, it has been highly effective. And 5, Allen rushing. I really like this play right here where Allen did an outstanding play fake and just ran it in himself for the touchdown. We need more of this, especially on that first drive when it's crucial to set the tone with a touchdown. Allen also converted both of his 4th and 1 rushes, even while getting punched in the head. This isn't the UFC, bro. Man, f that guy. The O-line should have kicked his ass. And Allen's rush to set up 1st and goal was even more amazing, and the fact that he stiff-armed the guy that was punching him in the head is even better for revenge. Maybe the NFL can be the UFC. Also note that Knox came in clutch, especially when the Bills needed a massive first down, which actually set up Allen's rushing score right after. Knox will be key, especially if Kincaid can't play on Sunday. And Tyler Bass came in clutch again. Thank goodness Bass was perfect on a day when Allen was not. Now, there are some major offensive improvements that we got to talk about. Despite how good the offense was at times, Allen really needs to clean up his accuracy. His recent sugar high interceptions are an issue, and they must be fixed, otherwise the Bills are screwed. There's 3 things Allen needs to clean up. First, interceptions. On Allen's first interception, he must have forgotten that the Bills were wearing white that day because he threw the ball to the other guy. I imagine he was going after Shakir because he was the only Bills player in the vicinity. Also notice Allen wasn't being pressured, so he had time, he just didn't take it. Allen needs to extend the play if he's getting pressured, or if he has the time, take it so that he can actually make the correct read. 2, stop throwing to Samuel. Allen needs to throw to a receiver who can actually get open, like one of the many guys I just talked about. Whenever Allen targeted Samuel, it was often a flop. Like here, for example, on 3rd down in the red zone, Allen should have just targeted somebody else because Samuel was not gonna catch that. And this 4th and 3 attempt was also pretty sad. Poor judgment by Allen, and he should have known Samuel wouldn't have caught that. And the last critique I have for Samuel is Allen's 2nd interception. I blame that on Samuel because he had been getting blocked all game, and he should have actually made a better effort to run for the ball instead of just letting Moore get the interception. Just get him off the fucking field already. And the 3rd thing Allen needs to fix are overthrows. Now, this is less of an issue than the other 2 things, but I still wanted to make mention of it. Obviously, Allen totally overthrew Kincaid on this play. Oh, I missed! Which would have set up 1st and goal or have been a touchdown. And this 3rd and goal overthrow was a little sus. I mean, seriously, Allen, who the hell were you throwing to? If Allen could just scramble to extend the play or just go for the run, that will clean up his accuracy because he won't have to force throws as often as he did last game. Bills D defense analysis. Pass defense is amazing. Granted, we did play one of the worst quarterbacks in the league, but we're also about to play another terrible quarterback, the NFL's golden child, Mahomes, who's thrown 9 interceptions this season, throwing 2 interceptions against the Bengals' paper-thin defense, as well as 2 interceptions against the 49ers. He hasn't thrown an interception in the last 2 games, so Mahomes is way overdue for an interception. And I imagine Rapp and Johnson are going to be able to get an interception off Mahomes. The Bills' defense will need to replicate what the Broncos did against the Chiefs last week, as well as what they did against the Colts last week, so that way they can pressure Mahomes, force him to stay in the pocket, and make a bunch of mistakes. And if the Bills' offense can actually capitalize off of Mahomes' interception by scoring a touchdown the next drive, that could be the difference in this game. Defense accolades. Taron Johnson was the MVP. I am so grateful that we have Johnson. Dude has gotten some sweet interceptions over the years, particularly that one interception against the Chiefs 2 years ago when we won the game.
1st and 10. And that's Taron Johnson.
And Bernard showed his pass breakup abilities as well, and even though he didn't get the interception, it just goes to show how many playmakers we have in the secondary. Oh yes, I also like Greg Rousseau's forced fumble and then Hamlin's recovery. That is why Rousseau is one of our best D linemen, if not our best D lineman, because he can actually force these plays, and he's always all over the quarterbacks. And Rapp's interception was the final nail in Flacco's coffin, because that essentially sealed the deal. Rapp was the unsung hero of Bills Colts, and I definitely expect him to turn up against the Chiefs. Between Rapp, Johnson, and Bernard, we got more than enough defensive power on the secondary. That said, we do have some defensive improvements we need to talk about. Predominantly, the run game. Nothing new here. Run game still sucks, and honestly, I don't see it getting any better until Milano gets here. The best thing that we can hope for is that the Bills don't completely break down in red zone defense, and they can actually force more field goals than not. But overall, they couldn't stop Taylor for especially on this play when he took off for like 1,000,000 yards.
2nd down and 8. It's Taylor trying the right side. Nelson springs him free. Big block by Quinton.
That said, the run defense actually can come alive, especially on that 3rd and 1 play where they were able to force a stop. Now, let's analyze the Chiefs, starting with their offense. The Chiefs' offense has been subpar all season, led by the subpar Mahomes. Mahomes is super overrated. 12 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. Get the out. And his only 30-point game was against the Bucs in OT. Most games were won by 7 points or less, which just goes to show you. Why exactly has the Chiefs offense sucked so much on offense? It's because Mahomes is extremely vulnerable, aka slower than in the pocket. Mahomes has been slow and stuck in the mud, similarly to Flacco. This is really good for the Bills because normally Mahomes is running all over teams. But now that he's been dealing with an ankle injury, that has screwed his mobility quite a bit, which the Bills will for sure capitalize on. Just like the Broncos did. Dude looks way off from his glory days. Mahomes was also easily sacked against the Broncos, taking I believe 4 sacks, and the Bills D will definitely capitalize on that ass. However, let's remind the Bills defense no half-ass tackled attempts are allowed because Mahomes will take advantage and will convert. Mahomes was also terrible on 3rd down and 3rd and goal, kind of like Allen was too. Right here, his pass was batted down and then he took another hit. Epinesa is going to be key there because Epinesa's like, I don't know, 6'6". And then here, he threw it way too high, so Kelsey had no chance of getting that. And I thought Allen played like last game. Chiefs defense analysis. Honestly, the defense has been great, hence why their opponent's scores have been so low. Only the Bengals managed to put up 25 points on the Chiefs, which is the most points scored on them this season. The Chiefs pass rush. Kudos to them, bro, because their pass rush absolutely ate up Nix's ass. Mostly because he was too dumb to throw the ball away when the rush came, taking massive sacks and often getting bounced out of field goal range. Way to go, bro. When that pass rush comes, and it will come, Allen needs to play smart and either throw the ball away if there's no other choice, or scramble and then take off with the run, or find somebody else who's open while he's throwing on the run. That way he doesn't get fumble and end up giving the ball away to the Chiefs at the worst possible time. The Chiefs defense does have a major weakness, and that's the run game. Similarly to the Bills, the Chiefs had an awful time trying to contain the run, especially when the Broncos went to the outside. This is where Cook will thrive. The Chiefs also couldn't stop the run up the middle, which is great news for our running backs because they love to run up the middle. Hopefully the Bills studied the tape way more than I did, so they'll know that running up the middle and running to the outside is going to be the way to go and not have to rely on Allen throwing as much. And the second weakness that the Chiefs defense had was the red zone, which is also good news for the Bills. The Chiefs were very weak in the red zone in the first half, and you better believe Allen's going to be able to capitalize, especially if Bo Nix was able to capitalize. However, the Chiefs D did completely shut out the Broncos in the second half, so Brady's going to have to make some good adjustments in the half to make sure that does not happen to the Bills. The Bills have to dominate so much on both sides of the ball so that the refs are irrelevant. Final score. Allen and the Bills will be able to score at least 3 touchdowns, accounting for 2 field goals as well when Allen's throws are incomplete. Since Mahomes has been so shitty on offense, I don't see the Chiefs putting up more than 20 points, especially against our high-powered defense. If Allen plays a clean game and the defense can play just as well as they did last game, I see the Bills winning 27-20. Subscribe if you want the Bills to win. Go Bills!